Hello and good evening, and welcome to tonight's Film Friday Flicks in Bruges. Sorry I can't be with you this evening, but I know you're in for a real treat. If you haven't seen this film, it is it's a quirky movie with some sort of twists and turns and some sort of shock humor, black comedy, that kind of thing. But I think you really will enjoy it. It was made in 2008 by Martin McDonagh. It was his debut standout movie, starring Brendan Gleeson, Colin Farrell, supported by Ralph Fiennes. In fact, he said that the Bruges itself was a bit like Don't Look Now. Was the supporting character to the film, just for that kind of background and that feel, and that was one of his big inspirations. But yes, it's a really you feel like you've gone on a bit of a holiday as well to Bruges. Although Martin McDonagh said that he spent a few days there as a sort of cultural tourist, and then he very much just want to get drunk. He thought about putting these two hitmen in this environment and seeing what happened, basically. But it's a very different kind of trip, I think, to Belgium than perhaps the average tourist would have. I think the result of In Bruges is a wickedly funny black comedy that sort of plunges audience into a world of sex, violence, petty squabbles, swearing. In fact, lots of swearing. It's full of lots of dark humour. In fact, In Bruges has 126 uses of the F word, and if you work out the average score, I think it works out. It's 107 minutes. I think it's about 1.18 F words per minute. So there we go. It's an interesting fun fact for the piece. Lovely soundtrack created by Carter Burwell, very classical folk, and Carter Burwell, big composer, so it was good for him to McDonagh to have him on his first movie. The film cost $15 million to make, grossed about $38.5 million. So not bad for a fairly low budget indie movie, but it had very limited release time. But what was great was that it's become this cult classic, really. And I think it's because it's full of that dark humour, full of that witty dialogue, and it's earned that cult status. McDonagh's screenplay was nominated for Best Original Screenplay at the 2009 Oscars that year. Didn't win, but he went on to win a host of BAFTAs and Golden Globes. Colin Farrell winning best actor, I think, at the Golden Globes. So yeah, and whilst those two actors, Colin Farrell, Ralph Fiennes, Brendan Gleeson, had all kind of done stuff, this I felt really sort of set in stone the quality of their acting. It's quite a small cast, a quirky cast, but it's a film, I think, that sits with you. The one fault I have with this film is that I'm a great lover of Harold Pinter, and there's a famous play, maybe you've seen it, called The Dumb Waiter, and this is The Dumb Waiter. This is exactly the same plot, exactly the same tenure of stresses and strains of characters, and there is no mention whatsoever of Harold Pinter inspired by or anything. It's which is quite bizarre, really, but I'm sure he must have seen it, because this is very much owes a lot to, whilst it is original in its form and its manipulation of the story, it's very much, I think, owes a lot to Harold Pinter. And if you haven't seen The Dumb Waiter, it's a great piece. I won't give too much else away. I think you'll really enjoy the film, and look forward to seeing you on the next one. Bye for now. Enjoy the film.